There has never been so much competition to be a successful real estate agent as there is right now. But to be honest, there's also more opportunity than I've seen since I got into the business all of 5.5 years ago. And the gap between a good and an average agent versus great is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The good news is your opportunity is as well. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I see agents at all levels making that is holding them back from being even more successful or just getting to successful in the first place. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Stubbs. I'm a team leader and owner of Onyx Homes. We're a real estate sales team that has done over $700 million in sales volume just since the year 2020. I've seen a lot of agents, both on my team and out in the industry, that are making these 5 mistakes. So I'm going to share with you how you can reverse those mistakes so that you can grow your business faster than anybody else. Biggest mistake number 1 most agents are making is they are chasing leads instead of trying to build relationships. Now, trust me, I was guilty of this as well too. But in 2025, being a transactional real estate agent is total suicide. With social media being as big as it is and your lead cost getting higher and higher and higher, it's harder to get leads, harder to convert leads, and everything's more expensive. Being transactional is going to be suicide for your business in 2025 and especially moving forward. So let's talk about a few different things. I have some notes here as well too. Now, so many agents are transactional, which is where this gives you part of the opportunity. So I have 3 different things that I want to cover here. Number 1 is building a database like you're going to be in the business for the next 20 years. If you are still using your cell phone and your personal phone number to track everything in a Gmail, you are out of your mind. Get a CRM that's going to help you build an actual database versus just collecting people's information and doing nothing with it over time. That's the number 1 first and foremost step that I would absolutely do that, and do it with intention. So when you get somebody's contact information, maybe you don't convert them on this sale, but if you're acting like you're going to be in the business for the next 20 years, you might have every single lead you get right now could be worth 3 and 4 transactions, not to mention all the referrals you can get from them. So beginning with the end in mind and building that database like you're going to be in the business for 20 years, I can promise you your future self is going to thank you. And I say this talking to tons and tons of agents that have been in the business for 20 years that didn't do this. And now 20 years later, they're saying, I got 5 years left. What do I do? They have no choice but to be transactional because they've done that their whole career. So that's number 1, is to build a database like you're going to be in the business for 20 more years. Number 2 is to coach your clients how to refer business to you. As silly as this might be, I have my buddy Lee down in San Diego. Shout out if you're watching this. He is fantastic. Now, everybody's got their own style. Everybody's got their own whatever, their personality and all that. He's very much like me. Very blunt, very direct. So when he needs a deal, he can just call up his past clients. He can call up his friends and family, and he can call them up and he can say, hey, it's Lee. I need a deal. Who do you know that's moving? And that's a script. Is it a script? No. It's just him being himself and actually asking for referrals. And he coaches up his clients that whether they're thinking about moving in 5 years, 1 year, or 2 days, to put us on a 3-way text message. I will take care of you. I'll get you some gift, some whatever, and I will take care of that client. I will make you look good for referring them. So coaching, however you do it, that part really doesn't matter. It's coaching of your clients of how to refer you business. So when you're asking the question, ask who do you know that's moving next, not do you know somebody. There's a tactic for you. Who do you know that's moving next versus do you know anybody? So that way they're thinking, I don't know if I know anybody right now. And then you can coach them on, okay, cool. Well, when you do find somebody that's thinking about making a move, grab get the phone, put us, here, you have my phone number, put us on a 3-way text message, take a picture, do whatever, so that I can jump in and respond. And then I will do this fun thing for you. Maybe it's you're going to grab them a cocktail. Maybe it's you're going to take them out to lunch. Maybe you're going to send something to their house. I don't know. Read the guidelines, make sure you're doing whatever you're allowed to do, but have some very easy way where you can have this is how I accept referrals and what happens. It does not need to be complicated. It could be a $5 Starbucks card for all I care. I promise just having that is going to make it 100 times easier. Just like, hey, if you introduce me to somebody that you think is making a move, I'll buy you Starbucks for a week, give them 25 bucks, whatever. Just think of something so that you actually have a process in place and you can coach your clients how to send you referrals. I don't want to beat that horse, but that is absolutely one of the easiest ways to do it. Also, I screw this up huge, and I don't want you to do this, and a lot of agents do, is you do not have to close a transaction in order to ask for a referral. If you're talking to somebody that's not moving for 2 years, but they like you, know you like you, trust you, ask them for a referral. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know where this past client referral thing, where it has to be past client. I think that's total nonsense. I think if somebody is a client that is likely to work with you in the future, that person, you can ask for referrals all day long. Now, number 3 is to build up your VIP clients. Now, again, not past clients, but to build some sort of actual community. Maybe this is just on your email list and you have an exclusive email that goes just to your VIP clients. I like the idea of making a Facebook group or a school community or Instagram close friends, something like that, where you can get all of your past clients together and you can share valuable information with just those VIP clients. Make them know they're VIP, make it feel exclusive. Here's a really big pro tip, is way to get into this VIP client list that they have to refer you somebody. And then do something really, really cool only for this group of people who have referred you somebody in the last year, or maybe ever, however you want to do it. I love that idea, but think of exclusivity and find ways to give them value. Think vendor list. If you have a list of vendors that your brokerage uses, maybe you have preferred discounts for your VIP clients, maybe you get free maybe whatever it is. But how can you become valuable and make a community around your thing? Those are the 3. So number 1 was build your database like you're going to be in the business for 20 years. Number 2 is to coach your clients on how to refer you business. Number 3 is to build a community of your referral VIP clients, whatever you want to call them. Mistake number 2 is being a secret agent online. Again, I was guilty of this as well too, and it cost me unknown amounts of money. And it is my single biggest regret of not documenting what I was doing as I was building my real estate sales business, because now I can just talk about it. All I can do is tell you that in the first 2 years of selling, I sold 1.1 million GCI. You don't know what it looked like. You don't see the 100 hours a week that I was putting in. You don't see the heartache of lost deals. You don't see the whatever. So showing what it looks like to work with you versus telling people about it is incredibly more powerful. So if you are ignoring social media in 2025, I'm screaming from the mountaintops that this is your wake-up call. And this is me coming from 5 years ago when I was selling in 2020 and we were hiring a marketing manager. I guess this was in 2021. We were hiring a marketing employee. I was sitting there listening to everybody we interviewed talk about social media and how they're going to help us grow social media. And I will never forget this. I was sitting there and I was thinking, this is not going to make us money. We need leads. We need this. We need that. I was not thinking social media was total nonsense, and that I didn't use it. And for me, it was total nonsense. Having said that, now my calendar exists almost 3 exclusive days to creating content. So coming full circle 5 years later, Carly loves to rub this in my face as well too. But here's what I hope drives this home is, what do you do when you meet a stranger for the first time? You probably look them up online. You stalk them. Everybody does this. My wife, we can't go anywhere without my wife stalking somebody. Sorry, Nicole, if you're watching this. If we're going to a restaurant, you look up social media. So why do you think somebody's going to pay you $25,000 or whatever the amount of the commission is and not look you up? It's crazy to me. So by you choosing to not at least post the bare minimum to pass what I call the sniff test, you are choosing to lose money, just period. And if you want your personal and professional separate, you picked a bad business for that. I'm sorry, you just did. And having a personal page and a business page, it's hard, it's just good luck. Nobody does. I've never met anybody that does it well. So by choosing to ignore social media in 2025 and it's only going to get worse. Moving forward is you are choosing to make less money. You're choosing to have a worse business. Now, can you do it without it? Yeah, sure. You definitely can. I know one of the agents that I know that sells more than anybody, he has no social media whatsoever. He just happens to send $300,000 worth of mailers every single month, so people know who he is. But he does that instead of posting on social media. And he's been doing it for 25 years, so he can probably say, I'm not going to do social media. But if you are in the business and not doing as much business as you want to do, I think it is absolutely crazy to not at least be able to pass the sniff test. Think of it this way. If you meet with a client that's double the price point of what you're normally working in, like for example, our median price point is $1 million. If one of our agents gets a buyer for $2.5 million, meaning 2.5 times more potential commissions, and they Google you and they see your high school prom photo, is that the impression you want to make? Or do you want to have a library of you being a valuable resource to your clients? Just a thought. All right, so you make that choice every single day is my other point. The second point that I have here, I'll make this one quick, is you are a business owner. Whether you like it or not, you as a real estate agent are a business owner, and you are choosing your personal brand is being built, whether you are doing it intentionally or not. So whatever you are sharing online, whatever you're associating yourself with, is you building your personal brand. And the question is that helping or hurting your business? Because there's no neutral. It's either helping or hurting. There's no two ways about it. The last thing is to start building your library of showing what it looks like to work with you before you ever ask a commitment is one of the best things you could possibly do. I have a quick story for you. For Easter this year, I was at my parents' house and my mom showed me an email and she's like, I love the email you sent me. I'm like, yeah, I know I send it out every single Friday. She's like, no, I just got it yesterday on not Friday. And I was like, that's weird. What was it? And I looked it up and it was an automated market update that I had set up probably 5 years ago. So on a software we don't use anymore. So she's been looking at this market update for the last 5 years. And what was on there? It was my original bio from when I started in the business. That was like, Christian went to this school and he was an athlete and all this crap, just nonsense. And if a customer saw that versus my mom, they would look at that and be like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. Absolutely no idea what he's doing. So making sure that everything you have out there is valid. Here's a really good pro tip. Go into an incognito window and Google yourself and see what actually pops up. And I did this today and I advertised a lot with my name. And that was the first thing that popped up was this bio from 2020 when I had 0 deals done. Definitely not what we want. All right. Number 3, mistakes that real estate agents are making that is holding them back is having no buyer or seller funnel. Or I would even look at this like having a funnel of making it obvious how to work with you, right? So if you're not familiar with what a sales funnel is, really all it is you want to have a mechanism or a thing that makes it very clear for how you get hired. Let me explain it like this, is if somebody went to your Instagram, do they know what to do? So if you go to my Instagram, if you go to @ChristianStubbs, you're going to see I help real estate agents grow their business. My real estate team has sold 660 million since 2020. Free sales masterclass with a link with an arrow down to our free school community. That's very clear what I'm doing, what I'm all about, and what I want you to do. I want you to join that free community so that I can give you even more valuable information. By the way, if you want more than this, join our free community. I do a live call every single week, at least I am right now. Not guaranteed to do it forever. So if you want to get on it, join as soon as possible. So having a clear mechanism. Now here's my advice to you is have a home buyer or seller guide, or make it one. Have a moving guide, whatever you want to call it, that is a lead magnet. Offer something valuable to your customers for free, and then have an upsell for booking a call. If you're typing into the internet, into the world, call me for all your real estate needs, that is absolutely not a call to action. That makes you look the same as most agents, but that makes you look terrible. Versus if you want to learn about buying in Orange County, download this home buyer's guide as a very easy example. And we are building a all about Orange County guide for our consumer facing channel. And we're going to always be able to say, hey, if you're thinking about moving in Orange County, download this guide. And then after the download the guide, it's going to be book a call with our team. And you can do that with you as well too. So my advice is to make something valuable that you can give away for free, and make it actually valuable. Don't make it crap. Don't make some PDF nonsense on Canva that looks like that's just not fluff. Make it valuable. Second thing is get Calendly. So go to calendly.com and get a free one and do a 15-minute discovery call. Set up the automations and all the fun stuff, but make it so that somebody can just click your calendar, pick a time that you're available, and you will call them at that time. And it's a very easy discovery call. Have a little formula for it. You could follow Closer Framework if you want to make it easy, but that's what I would do. Have a very clear mechanism of what it looks like to work with you in the beginning. Because while we think most people know how to work with a real estate agent, most people don't know what to reach out to you for. And when you say call me for all your real estate needs, do you want them to call you when they have a leaking toilet? That's a real estate need. Are you the right person to talk to? Like maybe you want them to call you for that, but You want to be more specific, and you want to tell them exactly what to do, not call me for all your real estate needs. It drives me crazy. Okay, number 4, mistakes real estate agents making that is holding them back is doing everything themselves. Now, this is more for our higher level agents that are watching this. If you're doing 200, 300,000 in GCI, this is for you. Is you're probably stuck at this level. If you're at 200 or 300, you're probably stuck because you're trying to do everything yourself. I have seen this time and time again of agents on our team and off our team. And frankly, this can happen up to $1 million in GCI. I'll give you a couple different stories, but generally it's in this $250,000, $300,000 range where you are the best at everything in the whole world. And trust me, I get it. I've been there. But let me share my story. When I first started selling, the only reason I was able to scale from 350 in GCI my first year to 780 in my second year was because I took crap off of my plate and added more sales back in. So let me explain. So in the very beginning, I was doing a lot of deals, and I had so much admin stuff on my plate that I was like, I can't do. I was working 100 hours a week, and I could have worked 120 if I could have stayed awake that long. And I was just like, I need help. So we hired an assistant, and she took off 40 hours of crap off my plate, and I added in 40 more hours of sales, right? Guess what happened? Sales doubled, or they went up. Let's just say that. And then a few months go by, and I was doing so many deals because we were doing more deals after that I was like, I'm spending so much time managing their deals, our files, that instead of having an outsourced TC that just DocuSigned, we hired somebody in-house that I could say, here's the deal, do it, and let me know if you need help. And that allowed me to add way more hours back into sales again, and the business grew again. And then we hired a marketing person, as I mentioned earlier in the video. They took off a lot of the marketing from my plate as well too, so that I could just, again, sell. And the huge, massive caveat here is when you delegate stuff off of your calendar, off your plate, you need to add sales back in order to sell more. Delegating is not just going to make more sales happen. That doesn't at all happen. What happens is you are focusing on your time on your highest and best use, which is selling. You should be in front of or talking to customers with all of your time because you are a salesperson. So one of the number one things that I see successful agents do that just totally gets them off track. I have a friend that I talked to at an event recently that does about $1.5 million in GCI, just himself, and he has this team that probably does another $1 million in GCI. He cannot let go of everything because he's a total control freak. And it is what's capping him from going from $1.5 million in GCI for him to go to the $2 or $3 million mark, which he absolutely could do, but not if he holds on to doing everything himself. Last thing, number 5, people that are not growing, real estate agent mistake that they're not making is reinvesting in themselves. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can look at this, but this happens at all levels. I make tons of free content. So do some of the biggest names in the industry. Tom Ferry, John Cheplack. These guys make unbelievable amounts of free content, and they've got libraries of it. Back to the first couple of points we talked about. They have libraries of free content. There's a reason they both make tens of millions of dollars a year, is because they give way more free value than most people ever talk about. Anyway, I've learned more in my career, not from those two necessarily specifically, but in general, I have learned more in my career from free resources than I have from paid. Let me say that again. And I have paid a truckload of money for coaching and consulting and like learning over here. I paid like multiple 6 figures. I have learned more from free stuff. Like the University of YouTube is the best investment of all time because it's free. Spending $15 a month to not have ads is probably not a bad idea, but most people don't invest in getting better. So let me share my very quick different examples that I've had. Is this last year, I paid over $50,000 to go to acquisition.com, Alex Hermosi's workshops. And I figure he obviously knows business better than I do, so I might as well pay some money, a lot of money, to go learn how they grow businesses. And in that time, we took all the advice that they gave us, we implemented the things that we learned from them, and in that 12-month span, we roughly doubled the business in revenue and 4x'd profit margin in a year. So question is, was it worth the $50,000 that we spent? Yes, absolutely. Having said that, the first thing we went to was, I don't know, $5,000. And that was, I mean, I've definitely spent more money on a 2-day event before, but the $5,000 we spent there, some of the best money I've ever spent. And 80% of the stuff they talked about there is on YouTube for free. So you can just go watch Alex and Layla's content and get 80% of what I paid for free. Now you pay really for more how-to and implementation, which is a whole nother conversation. But this is the thing that drives me crazy is one, so many people just choose not to reinvest in themselves at all. It might be as simple as watching this YouTube video and then just not making any changes in your life, or watching our sales training, our sales masterclass, joining our free school community, getting in the sales masterclass, like actually implementing those things. People ask me like, how do you train your sales team? It's like, that is the training for our sales team. And we convert higher than anybody else in our marketplace. So if you want that, join our community, link in the description below. But anyway, there's two different things that drive me absolutely nuts. One, people that choose not to invest in getting better, whatever that means, invest time or invest money. I'm huge on investing the time. The second thing that drives me crazy is it's not about the money, right? Some people will go pay, I've met a lot of people that will go pay a lot of money to go to learn from somebody that's better at business than them, and then choose to not do anything. And they are in exactly the same spot 5 years later that they were when they first started going, and they've been paying this whole time. So this is very real. I started in this coaching world. I learned about this coaching world 5 years, actually just about 5 years ago exactly. And I met a lot of friends in this ecosystem. And I would say 98% of them are at the same level or worse than when I met them, business-wise, like personal, who knows. From a business perspective, their businesses are either the same as they were when I met them or smaller. And how have we 10x the business in those 5 years versus other people not growing at all? It's literally just implementing the stuff you learn. That's it. So over the last 2 years, I have three major things that I've focused on for personal growth. And I'm spending a lot of time on this particular one because it's the only thing that's mattered for me to grow our business and me to grow personally. So the three different things that I've focused on in the last 2 years, number one is offer. So I mentioned Alex Hormozi's stuff, his book, $100 Million Offers. If I am breaking out and going to make an offer to somebody, I am literally using that book like a textbook. I have broke it out every single time I make an offer. For example, when we made the free community, it's free. So like, how much thought do you really need to put into it? Well, we wanted to make it valuable. If I'm going to put time into something, I absolutely want to make it valuable. So I broke out the $100 million offer book, and we put together an offer that feels good, or that is so good that it feels stupid to say no. So joining the free community that has even more access to me and my team and how we do things and how we built our team. We do a free call every single week. There's a free sales masterclass. There's a intro to our team building masterclass. Like, that's all just free in there. And there's tons of other content that's there as well too that only is in there. So we wanted to make that an offer. Like, if you're a real estate agent that wants to like learn how to make more money, that you would be silly not to join that. That was the whole point. Not just, oh yeah, here's another Facebook group to join. We all know how that goes. So that was number one, is offer. Actually making what you offer somebody good. Number two is marketing. I went down a marketing rabbit hole 2 years ago, and it was one of the best things that I could have done. Here's a pro tip for how to do that. One, his book, $100 Million Leads, is also fantastic. I break that thing out all the time when I'm doing advertising. However, you can just go learn a lot about marketing by scrolling. You already scroll through Instagram all day long anyway, or TikTok or whatever. Here's my advice. Every third or fourth post is an ad. Go on to the ad, read the ad, click on it, and see what happens. Don't do this for my ads, please, if you're gonna just opt in and join the community. But secure your spot, drop your information, and see what happens. You're a salesperson. Like, learning how other people advertise is incredibly valuable. I did this. I opted into like 500 different Facebook and Instagram ads that I saw. It was fascinating to see the different ways that different people followed up, what was good, what did I hate, all of that stuff. So that was another thing, was marketing. The third thing was honestly customer success. And this is more for us on the team side, was we looked at what makes our agents successful. And we've done this multiple times before, but this time we really sat down, like, what makes our agents successful? And then how do we make that happen on purpose faster to give a better experience, make agents refer more to us, and all of that stuff as well too. Huge pro tip. Sales, and like, this is business and sales principles. This is not real estate. So when I talked about building a database that is worth gold, That's what we're trying to do with this free content. I don't make this free content because I enjoy it. I make this because it's going to benefit our business long term. If you're watching this and you're thinking about joining, if you're in Southern California and you're thinking about joining our company, this is a very, very real look into how I train, how we do things. I make this for my agents. I make this for people who might be interested in joining our company. These are the same principles that we're asking you to do in your business to take it to the next level. So I just wanted to throw that in there and share as well too. Now, the transition I'll make here is if you're talking about investing, the number one skill you can invest in to make more money now, which is probably why you're watching this, is sales. You already have leads. You need a little bit of help on how to convert them. But if you can get better at your conversations to have set more appointments in the conversations you're already having, you're going to make more money almost immediately. So in this next video, this is one of the more popular ones we've put out recently. This is how you can stop sounding like a salesperson and get way more information with question-based selling. So get rid of the sales-based questions. Watch this video. I think you'll really like it. Leave me a comment if you do. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you there.